ಪವರು ಬಂದಿರೋದನ್ನೋದು ಒಳ್ಳೇದಾಗಿದೆ. ಆದರೆ ಬಟ್ ಏನಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಡವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅನ್ಯಾಯ ಆಗ್ತಾಯಿದೆ. ಬಡವ್ರಿಗೆ ಈ ಜಮೀನು ಇಲ್ಲದವ್ರಿಗೆ, ಇವಾಗ 1 ಎಕರೆ 2 ಎಕರೆ ಇರೋ ಜಮೀನು ಇದ್ದವ್ರಿಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಅನ್ಯಾಯ ಆಗ್ತಾಯಿದೆ.
Almost 80% of the land in those villages are owned by the large rich farmers, the landed farmers, and who are also upper caste incidentally. And then you will find that there are small or middle income farmers who own maybe 10 acres, 5 acres or 3 or 2 acres of land. All these landless people who are majorly Dalits, basically, their main occupation was going and doing labor work on the farms of the rich people, but also rearing sheep and goat. And after the installation of the solar plant, that entire grazing ground, which is open for goats and sheep, has become out of bounds for these people.
ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾಗ ಇಲ್ಲ ದನ ಮೇಯ್ಸಕ್ಕೆ, ಕುರಿ ಮೇಕೆ ಮೇಯ್ಸಕ್ಕೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದ್ದ ಜಾಗ. ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಕೆರೆಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು, ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲೂ ಇಲ್ಲ.
I've met so many people in those villages, including women sheep rearers and goat rearers, all from Dalit families, who have had to kind of sell off their sheep and goat, which was a livelihood option. I met people who were now migrating with their sheep and goat to nearby areas to graze them, for months again. When we transition, we do not transition to renewables in the same way as we did with fossil fuel. Fossil fuel essentially basically robbed people of their rights over resources. They also kind of made people who were already vulnerable, be it caste vulnerability or class vulnerability or gender vulnerability, it basically ended up making them even more vulnerable because it snatched away resources from people. So this whole transition is a big opportunity to kind of bring justice to the center of this whole transition.
ತಮ್ಮದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಎಕರೆ ಜಮೀನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀರಾ?
12 ಮುಕ್ಕಾಲು ಐತೆ ಸರ್. ಸೋಲಾರಿಗೆ
12
ಮುಕ್ಕಾಲು. ಪ್ರತಿ ವರ್ಷ 2,90,000 ಲಕ್ಷ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ನಾನು ಸೋಲಾರ್ನಾಗೆ ಲೇಬರ್ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ನನಗೂ ಪ್ರತಿ ದಿವಸ 400 ರೂಪಾಯಿ 500 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಕೆಲಸ. ನನ್ನ ಮಗನೂ ಸೋಲಾರ್ನಾಗೆ ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರಿಟಿ ಸೂಪರ್ವೈಸರ್ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವ್ರಿಗೂ 14,500 ಇವಾಗ 18 ಏನು ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಬೇರೆಯವರು. ಅಷ್ಟು ಬರುತ್ತೆ ನಮಗೆ. ಅದರಿಂದ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಸೋಲಾರ್ನಿಂದ ನಮಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಪ್ರಯೋಜನ ಬಂತು. ನಾವು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಇಂಪ್ರೂವ್ ಆಗಿದೆ.
So in 13,000 acres on paper, according to KSVDCL, it is only 4,000 jobs that have been given for the local people. See, this is South India where people used to grow at least 2 crops, 3 crops many a time. And over a period of year, 1 acre can easily employ like 10 to 15 people. But now that land is gone, and in 13,000 acres, only 4,000 jobs is something that is of a great concern. When you know that, you're taking away land from an area, and if you want to really give jobs, okay, the first 5 years, maybe you can't hire local people, but if they really meant good for a long-term feasibility, they should have set up some kind of vocational training for local people, both for men and women, and made it a very inclusive industry.
People are becoming lazy, like even morning they go for 2 hours work, evening 2 hours work, and they are happy with that, and they are given land also. That also they are getting the money. Now a lot of people started drinking. Earlier they used to drink once in a while during the festival, or once or twice in a year.
People keep on pulling out money from these banks, and they keep buying petrol for their bikes. They end up making houses, in the small plots that are given to them, and they don't have any livelihood options, right? They've lost their land already. They do not earn anything now. So there has been this whole issue of people not being able to manage this huge amount of money that comes to them. Those are all very similar patterns that you see between places where there was fossil fuel and places where renewables is coming up.